Hey guys, and welcome to the 10th video in this tutorial series, and in this one we're going to be creating the spawning system for our power-ups, and it's just going to be time-based, so it'll happen every 30 seconds or 5 seconds, for example. If you want to see how we actually made the power-ups in a different video, we did that in the 5th video, link will be in the description, but in this one we can just get started and hop into Visual Studio now. Okay guys, so here we are in Visual Studio, and we're just going to quickly change our power-up controller script. So what we're going to do here is first, we're going to create a new function here. This one's going to be to get a random position, and so this one we're going to write private vector2 get random position, and in here we obviously want to make sure that it's within the screen and with an offset, so we're going to write let x equals random dot range 0 screen dot width. And we're going to do this for the y2, but first I don't want them to spawn in the edges, so we're going to create an offset really quickly, but first I'll write return camera.main.screen to world point. Of course we have to change this to a world point rather than a screen point because we're picking on the screen here between the screen and width. Oh, and this is supposed to be height. We're picking within the screen, and then we want to transform it into a position so that the spawner understands the proper position and we're not spawning at some weird coordinates outside of the map. Anyway, so we'll do new vector2 x and y. And first I'm going to go up here because I should have done this first. And we just want to create a vector2 that represents our offsets on the x and y axes of the screen. So border offset equals new vector2, and we'll just hard code the values in here. We'll write 20 and 20, for example. We can make this public in case we want to change it in the inspector later. And now we're going to go over back down here, and basically we're going to subtract and add the border offset. So here we're going to add border offset dot x, and on the screen dot width we're going to subtract border offset dot x. And here we're going to do the same thing with the y's. And you probably understand now what this does, but if you don't, of course we're just going to keep it within bounds of a smaller rectangle than the screen, which is what adding and subtracting the offsets are for. Now, since we have our function for getting a random position, we can write our power-up loop, which is going to be an IEnumerator. Basically so that we can make a delay whenever we want to, since this is going to happen every so often. So the first thing we want to do is just create an infinite loop here, and we're going to return a delay. Wait for seconds. We're going to say 5 seconds for now, just so that we can see how it works. It'll look pretty comical off start, but in a future video we'll work more on the graphics to make it work properly with a good look too. So here we'll do 0 and powerups dot count. So we pick a random power-up, and then we'll write spawn powerups dot keys dot element at, and this will not come up immediately because we're going to need to import system.link. So here we're just going to automatically write using system.link. That's just a Visual Studio feature. You can also just write using system.link up here if you're using not something that isn't Visual Studio 2015. Okay, so now we're going to write get random position, and so yeah, that'll use our other function, and it will spawn a random power up at a random position, and that'll happen every 5 seconds. So now, one thing to remember about IEnumerators is that you cannot call them unless you can use the start coroutine function, because if I just call power up loop like this, nothing will happen. So you need to call start coroutine and then type in the function here, power since we have it with its infinite loop, it'll basically keep on happening. Oh, I forgot. Did not notice that. My bad. Anyway, but yeah, that should be it. And we should see our power-ups randomly spawning now every 5 seconds. So if we just go to the editor now and we press the play button here, of course we have our nanoswarm from the past videos. And here we have one power-up spawned at 5, and it's basically going to stay there because we haven't added any behavior. And my bad, I just knocked the ball out before 10 seconds occurred. But here we'll see again at 5 seconds one will spawn. There he is. He's at a nice offset. It's not going to spawn outside of the screen or anything. And there's our pink one. It's reachable. Maybe it's challenging, but we can reach it. And there we get it. And I don't remember what the pink one does. Oh, that's the one that removes the cooldown on the... Okay. Anyway. And here's our speedball one. But you get the picture. They're spawning every 5 seconds. And of course, just to change how often that happens, we can just change our wait for seconds here. Change it to 30 F, and then we'll get a power-up every 30 seconds. Now, if you wanted to make it random, you could always just write random.range in here. Random.range. And we can write like 4, or we can write like 3 and 5. So it'll give a random number between 3 and 5. So if we watch it here, it might happen at 3, it might happen at 4, it might happen at 5. So there we get one at 4. And so 3 to 5 seconds ahead, so there 8. But yeah, you get the picture. That's how our system works. Not hard to edit, not hard to randomize, and it works well with our power-up system. So that's going to be it for this one, guys. Make sure to hit the subscribe button for the rest of the series, and hit the like button if you liked. Thanks for watching.